The Housemaid's Secret summary in 5 minutes. The Housemaid's Secret is a tense psychological thriller that continues the story of Millie, a woman shaped by a troubled past and the dangerous lessons she has learned about trust, survival, and deception. In this installment, Millie once again finds herself working as a housemaid, but what appears to be a fresh start quickly turns into another disturbing mystery hidden behind the walls of a seemingly perfect home. After the traumatic events of her previous experience, Millie is determined to rebuild her life. She keeps a low profile, choosing jobs that allow her to stay unnoticed and independent. When she is offered a new housekeeping position in a luxurious penthouse apartment, it seems like an opportunity she cannot refuse. The pay is good, the environment is elegant, and most importantly, it offers stability. Her new employer, Douglas Garrick, is polite but distant. He sets clear rules. Millie is to clean, cook, and maintain the home, but she must never disturb his wife, who remains locked in one of the rooms. He explains that his wife is ill and requires complete isolation. At first, Millie accepts this explanation, believing it is not her place to question her employer's personal life. However, as days pass, the situation begins to feel increasingly unsettling. Millie notices small details that don't quite add up. She hears faint noises coming from the locked room, movements, soft cries, or something that sounds like fear. She occasionally sees signs that someone inside is trying to communicate, whether through subtle disturbances or barely noticeable clues. These moments trigger a growing sense of unease. Despite her efforts to focus on her work, Millie cannot ignore her instincts. Her past has taught her that appearances can be dangerously misleading. She begins to suspect that something is very wrong, and that the story she has been told may not be true. The tension escalates when Millie accidentally catches a glimpse of Douglas's wife. The brief encounter is enough to confirm her fears. The woman does not appear simply ill, she looks frightened and possibly controlled. This discovery shifts everything. Millie realizes that she may be witnessing a situation far more sinister than she initially believed. At this point, Millie faces a difficult choice. She can ignore what she has seen and continue her job, preserving her safety, or she can investigate further and risk becoming involved in something dangerous. Guided by a sense of justice and her own past experiences, she decides to dig deeper. As she begins to investigate, Millie uncovers inconsistencies in Douglas's behavior. His calm and composed demeanor starts to crack under closer observation. There are moments of tension, sudden changes in mood, and subtle signs of control that suggest he is hiding something. At the same time, the isolation of the apartment makes it difficult for Millie to seek help or verify her suspicions. Through careful observation and small acts of defiance, Millie starts to piece together the truth. She finds ways to communicate with the woman in the locked room, learning more about her situation. What she discovers confirms her worst fears: the woman is not being protected, she is being imprisoned. The story intensifies as Millie realizes that she is not just an observer, but a potential target. If Douglas suspects that she knows too much, her own safety could be at risk. The apartment, once a symbol of luxury and security, becomes a confined and threatening space where every move must be calculated. Using her intelligence and resourcefulness, Millie begins to plan how to expose the truth and help the trapped woman escape. She must act carefully, balancing the need for action with the risk of being discovered. Every decision carries consequences, and the margin for error is small. The psychological tension reaches its peak as Millie confronts the reality of her situation. She is once again facing a manipulative and dangerous individual, much like in her past. However, this time she is not the same person. She has learned from her previous experiences and is better prepared to fight back. The climax of the story is filled with suspense and high stakes. Millie executes her plan, navigating the dangers of the apartment and the unpredictability of Douglas. The confrontation that follows is intense, revealing the full extent of his control and the lengths he is willing to go to maintain it. In the end, the truth is exposed. The woman is freed from her confinement, and Douglas's actions come to light. Justice, in some form, is achieved, though not without cost. The experience leaves a lasting impact on everyone involved, particularly Millie. By the conclusion, Millie emerges stronger and more self-aware. She has once again faced danger and chosen to act rather than remain silent. Her journey reflects a deeper understanding of herself and the world around her, one where trust must be earned, and where courage often comes from confronting fear. The story closes with a sense of cautious hope. While the immediate danger has passed, the emotional and psychological effects remain. Millie continues forward, carrying both the scars and the strength gained from her experiences. Ultimately, The Housemaid's Secret is a story about uncovering hidden truths and standing up against control and manipulation. It highlights the importance of listening to one's instincts and the power of resilience in the face of danger. Through Millie's journey, the novel reminds us that even in the most confined and threatening situations, it is possible to fight back and to change the outcome.